The Titanic is gliding through the middle of the ocean. My name is Luca Moretti. I am 23 years old, traveling from Italy to America. A new life, a new hope. I am staying in one of Titanic's third-class cabins. It's small and narrow, but still a miracle for me. The first days of the journey have been wonderful. The food on the ship is amazing, and watching the sea from the deck is peaceful. Even though we are in third class, we are all having fun. There is a man playing the accordion, and people are dancing. I've made a few new friends, an Irish family, a young French painter, and a Hungarian couple. We are all talking about the life that awaits us in the future. I decided to sneak into first class. My friend Francois and I are wandering around the deck. Crystal chandeliers, luxurious armchairs, elegantly dressed people. Before long, we get caught, but we only receive a warning. As midnight approached, I was sitting in my cabin, reading an old book. Suddenly, a violent jolt shook the ship. At first, we didn't think much of it, but then the ship stopped, and the sound of the engines fell silent. I climbed the stairs, but the paths leading to the upper class were blocked. We asked the crew, and they said, "It's nothing serious, don't worry." But there was tension on their faces. As minutes passed, things began to change. The crew started handing out life jackets. I realized that something was seriously wrong. The doors were still locked. Most third-class passengers didn't speak English and were waiting in fear. Suddenly, a group of people tried to break down the door. Chaos had begun. For those in third class, escape was nearly impossible. Water was rapidly flooding the lower decks. A father held his children, desperately searching for a last resort. A woman was praying. I was trying to push past the doors and make my way up. I barely managed to reach the upper deck, but the lifeboats were reserved for women and children first. In front of me stretched the cold, endless ocean. The lights in the middle of the Titanic flickered for a moment. Then, with a loud explosion, the ship split in two. I fell into the water. Breathing was impossible. The ocean was freezing. People were screaming, but soon everything was swallowed by a deadly silence. When I fell into the water, my body went into shock. There were bodies all around me. I held onto a piece of wood, but I knew I wouldn't survive for long. Hours later, one of the lifeboats approached me. I was exhausted, but I raised my hand and asked for help. A hand grabbed me and pulled me out of the water. At that moment, I couldn't believe I was alive. Everyone in the lifeboat was silent. They were frozen, cold, and terrified. A few hours later, a ship appeared, the Carpathia, the ship that rescued us. Days later, we arrived in New York. I had survived, but my soul was still trapped in that night.